set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
What is up, everybody? It is Friday night, 3 Men in the Basement, the COVID-19 We Don't Care special. We are here to talk about comic books. We are here to talk to you guys about all things geek and unique. We have Mitch Hallock jumping on from Terrificon pretty soon with us. So, as always, I am Otto. And standing 5 feet from
5.5-ish.
5.5-ish, we have Mr.
What's up, everybody? Roger Levesque here. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. And straight out of Jersey, we have our two brothers from 3 Men in the Basement. We have Mr. Dave in the Cave. Dave, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
What's up, boys? I'm going stir crazy. I needed some social interaction tonight, so thanks.
No, I hear you. And of course, manning the helm, driving this ship, driving this tank, driving us to oblivion. We have Nemesis Prime. Nemesis, say what's up to everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Shout out to Geeky Swag Shop, and of course, our brothers over at the NY Warriors. I'm wearing my new Home of the NY Warriors t-shirt, so go on to Geeky Swag Shop. You can get this new shirt in 3 different colors. So representing them tonight. Thanks so much, guys, for being with us on this Friday night.
Absolutely. You know what? Geeky Swag Shop, just one of those great people that we like to deal with. And, you know, we do want to talk about real quick about our sponsors, Rocket Comics.
Yeah.
Rocket Comics is pressing all your books right now. Just so you guys know, I've got a ton of books right here that I'm setting off because, like I said weeks ago, this would be a good time to get stuff off to CGC. And of course, all new members will get 20% off their first pressing invoice, and returning customers, while using the 3 Men in the Basement code or the Lords of the Long Box code, you'll be able to get 10% off all returning invoices for your pressing. So now's the time to do it, you guys. I would definitely do it. And let's make it happen. So it's just going to be a great time for comics, and we're going to get through this, you guys. Don't worry. So happy Friday. So let's see what's going on. All right. We've got Mitch here. We are going to add.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My computer had to pick tonight to upload all its Microsoft updates. I'm like, no, not now.
Yeah. Absolutely. So without further ado,
That's right.
Yeah.
I would like to invite Mr. Mitchell A.S. Hallock down in the grotto at 3 Men in the Basement, the producer of Terrificon, the producer of the Power Cosmic podcast, the self-proclaimed king of all nerds, right, Mitch?
Yeah, you forgot CT GamerCon, which should have been last weekend, but
yes. Now, Mitch,
Yeah.
rest in peace, CT GamerCon. I'm very sorry that didn't happen, man. Was this?
you and me both.
Yeah. Now, this would have been your 3rd year or 2nd year for CT GamerCon?
No, fourth year.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
it's crazy because to me, it was just like, you know, I'm a follower of Terrificon, and I just realized, like, hey, listen, CT GamerCon has been going on and growing, but I mean, 4 years, my God, unbelievable. Very sorry for that. So,
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do now, but we got it rescheduled for September 12th and 13th.
oh, good news. All right. So September 12th and 13th. So right now we have coming up, because we know it's still going on. Justin, do we have a graphic for it?
Yep.
Oh, look at that thing of beauty. I like
Our
it.
favorite. Mitch, we are all fans of, and I'm a fanboy, first and foremost, of your Comic-Con. To me, it's just been absolutely a great con, and we absolutely love it. And my 2 brothers, Dave in the Cave and Justin, come up from Jersey.
Oh, yeah?
Doesn't somebody come from Scotland every year to Terrificon?
Oh,
Wow.
well, no. We got, there's a guy that's been coming for 2 or 3 years now from Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, he's on the page. He'll talk. He's in the Facebook group. We talk a lot. We had a guy from West Germany.
Yep.
There's a guy that comes every year who was a volunteer. He comes down from Manitoba, Canada, which is about 11-hour flight. And he's been there for 6 years now.
Okay.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's
And,
dedication.
That is.
Yeah, we get them from everywhere, and it just keeps getting bigger. I mean, yeah, the look on my face when somebody tells me they came in from Australia and took a 27-hour flight, I'm like, you did? My wife's like, don't act like that. I'm like, oh.
Right. Oh my God. So Mitch, I just want to bring up, so I have been coming to Terrificon for a few years now, but I didn't realize that you started in Trumbull back in the day. And the reason I know that is because my brother, Power Kid Comics, Brett X, was, part of that back then. What was it back in Trumbull? What was it called?
Well, back then it was called Comic-Con with 2 N's. And
Okay.
then we had a little bit of a trademark dispute over who could use the name and stuff. So I was like, hey man, everybody always says it's a terrific Comic-Con. So hey, that ends with a C. So put an O-N on it. So Terrificon, and then hence the name was born. Yeah.
Okay.
2015. So yep. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you went from Terrificon and then Bridgeport, mate. No, I'm sorry. You went from Trumbull.
No. It was Trumbull Marriott, 2012.
Yep. How many people do you think you had there, Mitch?
What's that?
How many people do you think at that one you had?
Oh, the first one we had 3,000 people.
Oh my God.
And then it was a one-day show. And then
Wow.
the second one we had 5,500. And I know that number because that's the number the fire marshal yelled at me about when they shut the show down.
Wow.
Because it's a Marriott. It was designed for weddings.
Right.
Like proms and stuff like that for maybe about 1,500 people, not 5,500 people.
Oh my God.
The line went down the street, literally down the street, and the cops had to come, and it was crazy. And they tell me, they go, why didn't you tell us that you had all these people coming? I said, well, we only had sold like 220 pre-sale tickets. So we're like,
good God.
200 people. We got this, but word got out. And it was nuts. And the big guest we had that year was Mark Bagley,
Really?
Tom Palmer, and Ron Garney. And Garney I've known for years because I actually went to school with him at Southern Connecticut in New Haven. And I had no idea. And then John Wesley Shipp,
Yeah.
he called up like a week before the show. And at the time there was no Flash TV show in 2013.
Right.
He said, oh, can I get a table? I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I never had a celebrity guest and stuff. But he loved it because what we did, we had no room for 5,000 people.
Right.
So they have like a patio outside and, for weddings to do like dances or something,
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's now the Power Patio.
Oh my God.
We put a stage out there, and me and the wig master from WPLR, we were up there doing comedy bits with Superman, and we were bending steel in our bare hands. And,
Oh my God.
it was nuts. It was like a carnival.
Right.
And, John Shipp, we didn't have a table for the guy because it was so late. So we just put a table out in this tent, and he said because his father, I guess, was a Baptist minister, and he said he loved the show because it was like being at a church bazaar, like a church picnic type of thing. Everybody was helping each other out and having fun and dancing and singing. And he jumps up on stage and he's doing bits too. And it really was, it was fun as all hell. And then he's come back 4 times because he absolutely time. Yeah, and he said, hey, whenever you want, just give me a call. I'll come anytime because this is like one of the best shows I've ever had or had fun at.
Yeah, we as a family, my family of 5, we all did the flashes. And I think that was like 3 years ago. And he had took a picture with us, and he was glowing with a smile. He autographed the helmet that I made. He was just a great guy. So you had 5,000 people at that show.
Yeah. So what happened there is the fire marshal said you can't come back.
Oh my God! Don't come back.
Yeah, you see, congratulations. Don't come back. And
that's a good show.
Yeah. So I called the arena in Bridgeport because it was the next biggest thing there is, and it's a hockey arena.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, what is this thing now? A comic book convention? What does that mean? And I said, oh, we dress up. He was calling it all kind of names and Mitch's Freak Show, Mitch's Circus. He didn't understand it. He's like, I don't get this. People are in costumes. What is this? So I went down to the mayor's office and we got the mayor, Finch, to give Batman a key to the city. Yeah. And we made this big event out of it. And it was a 3-day show. And we got 13,800 total.
Okay.
Wow.
And the line, I remember the guy at the arena's face because the line went, I don't know if you knew where the Bridgeport Arena was, near the Bridgeport Bluefish.
Yep.
The line went out the door down around the baseball field, underneath the train tracks from Metro North, and
Holy
was headed
moly.
out towards the Long Island Ferry.
Holy moly.
And I didn't even know it. And they said, "Hey, have you seen the line outside?" And I go, "Oh, is there 20 people?" No, go look. And I went, and I just kept walking and walking and walking to get to the end of the line. And it just kept going down the street. And I was like, "Oh my God."
Right. All you guys want to come into my show and see comic books? Like,
Oh yeah, it was crazy, you know. And we had William Catt, the greatest American hero.
yeah.
That's funny.
Darth Maul. Ray Park was there.
Wow.
Larry Kenny. Oh, the guy from Agent Sitwell from Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He had never done a show. He was giving free autographs and free photos. Yeah, it was again that same old, like, Ming Chen was there from Comic Book Men, and Brian O'Halloran from Clerks.
Yeah.
But it was that same small show feeling, even though there was 13,000 people.
But I think Terrificon is the same way. That it's Terrificon still has that. And Mitch, how many people were at last year's Terrificon? I know I asked you this before.
I think the final number was 23,000 people.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I'm gonna give you a little comic convention. I don't know, folklore or story.
Yes,
or whatever.
please tell us. We'd love to hear it.
When you go to shows and they tell you that the number, a lot of shows give you what's called the turnstile number. And a turnstile is, you know, that little thing you go through with the bars, like you're going through a subway train?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you walk out and say you smoke, or you want to go get a sandwich, or you go, I don't know, somewhere to the parking lot, you walk out. You bought one ticket.
Yeah.
But you walk out, you come back in, you go back out, you come back in. Well, they go, well, that's 3 people. And they'll say, yeah. So they'll say, oh, we had 50,000 or 80,000 people. But reality, they only sold about maybe half that ticket number. But they count everybody that comes in and out twice, because technically it could have been another person. And I go, no. That's all spoken words. When somebody tells me how many people were there, I go, how many tickets, how many physical bodies were there? Don't give me this. I went out to the casino and played blackjack. I went to Bobby Flay's and came back. You know, that's nonsense.
Take a nap.
Yeah. And I talk to people and they say, so when you say 23,000, you mean 23,000? Yeah. They go, well, other shows would be saying they had 46,000.
Right. But you know what, though? I think, though, so there's a few things I want to do. First and foremost, thank you very much for having such a great con.
Yeah, again, I'm sorry for being a little late. But
no, it's okay. But listen, when we go in, now that it's in a new venue, you know, in the Expo Center, which they built for you, I firmly believe that. Forget about those fancy cars. They built it for the comics.
We were the biggest event there until that stupid Barrett Jackson took
those goddamn cars, which nobody buys anyway. Nobody buys those things anyway. So
for a couple years, we were the biggest convention ever at the Mohegan. We had the
and now, even when it was, you know, in the other area, I still don't feel that it's like crowded or walking around and stuff like that. Now you go to all the shows, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You ever feel that it was like a little bit too crazy, or, you know, were you
No, because look, I try to be conscientious about that and think ahead of time, because I've been, like you said, to so many shows. I've been to New York Comic Con every year since it started. Baltimore. I've been stuck in more crowds than I want to remember. So when you run your own thing, you're like, hey, look, I don't want to be stuck in. I don't want to be squished. I don't want to be stepped on. I want to see the air between people. I want to actually have breathing room, you know.
Right.
And so when I design it, I actually lay it out so the aisles are much wider.
Yep.
For the artists, because people line up to get autographs and sketches. So you want to make sure that they don't block other artists and stuff. So we do that. And we take the big names, or the ones that I know are going to get longer lines. I put them at the end of the aisles.
Gotcha.
So the lines feed. Yeah. So the lines feed back in the dead space where there's no booths or anything. So they're not blocking anybody.
Nice.
So, yeah. There's a little bit of a science, and you learn that over the years. I mean,
so now has that science started already? Like, so Terrificon ends.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get your ice cream at Ben and Jerry's. You get to relax.
That's true. That's true.
24 hours, and you get to relax. And how soon is it before you're like, all right, time to do it again?
Well, certain guests I have booked out for years ahead of time, because they have a window. They can't make it there, especially the actors. The actors are the hardest, because they're doing, when it's August here, that's when a lot of these TV shows you watch are filming. Like, any of the CW shows, they're all filming up in Vancouver.
Right.
So what happens is they got to fly from Vancouver to Boston or New York because there's no direct flight to Hartford, and they have to be back Sunday night because they have to be on the set at like 5 a.m. to start working again. So it's really hard to get that. So what happens? Like John Barrowman was here this year. I've been trying to get John Barrowman for like 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And every year it was like, oh, he's filming The Flash. Oh, he's filming Green Arrow. Oh, he's filming Doctor Who. So we finally got a call from his people last year, and they said, hey, guess what? Your number's up, and he's got the week open. So if you want, he's coming. I'm like, oh, my God.
Gotcha. Right.
Nice.
Now, that is through like a company, like a management company and stuff like that.
Well, what you have to do for actors, especially, they have agents. They have multiple agents. They'll have a booking agent for conventions.
Yeah.
They'll have a manager. They'll have a PR person. They'll have somebody who gets them TV shows. So you have to, the trick is you have to go find who's the right person to talk to.
Gotcha.
And then once you get a hold of them, then you start, can he make it? What's he doing? Does he want an appearance fee? And, there's a whole pile of stuff that goes along with that. So that's really the trickiest part.
So, Mitch, when you first started, I would imagine it was a little tougher to get a hold of those people. But now that this thing is really taken off and has quite a great reputation, do you find that stars are more reaching out to you now, telling you when they're available?
Yeah. Look, every first year show, even a second or maybe even a third year show, there's always that hesitation on bigger actors because they don't want to look. If you got an agent and he could send his actor to a show that just started that might get 5,000 people, or an established show that's been around for years that gets 30 to 40 to 50,000 people, he's going to send his guy to that one because he knows he's going to make his money. He's going to meet his fans. It's very hard. But like you said, since we've been doing it at Mohegan, this would have been 6 years at Mohegan this summer. We're going to be
okay. That's very important to know. Thank you for that. So 6 years. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. 6 years since 2015. So, you count each show.
Yeah.
So, and people know Mohegan Sun. I mean, that's something that if you see the new Adam Sandler movie, they film it there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Uncut Gems thing.
It's funny because when we talk about Terrificon and we talk about people that were trying to come and, guys that might be from the Pennsylvania area or like the Maine area, we're like, listen, this is like no other con, that you've ever been to. I go, you've got a 5-star hotel. You've got everything around it. And I joke, no, Justin, I'll let him chime in. Justin goes to New York every year. Yeah. Justin, what the difference, and I know is what, like, it's unbelievable.
I mean, it's night and day. Mitch, I mean, I've been going to cons for the past 10 years. I live in Jersey, and I don't want to speak for Dave in the Cave, but, me and Dave are, we always go to cons together. But I mean, I've been going to New York Comic Con for 10 years. I've gone to C2E2, Baltimore, any convention in Jersey, Philly. But when, I met Everett years ago and he's like, you got to come up to this thing. And I came to your show, not last year, the year before was my first time. I was just blown away. And like you said, I like your layout, how you explained it. It's very open. I mean, I go to New York Comic Con and it's a disaster. Oh, and Dave, you know it too.
Yep. I know the fellow that does the Artist Alley, and that's always well done. I enjoy the Artist Alley.
And it's just great because, and I try to tell people and everybody who watches our live shows, we explain, we tell them how great Terrificon is. Coming from Jersey, it's at least a 3 to 4 hour drive, but it's probably one of the best weekends because of the fact that you're in a casino. You don't ever have to really walk outside. I mean,
it's all inclusive. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Really cool. I get on to go to New York. I get on a train. I have to walk to the Javits Center. I have to walk back to the train station, take the train. It's just unbelievable. And Dave, what do you think? Right?
Yeah, no, I'm with Justin. I think for me, I mean, it's that chance encounter in the casino too, where you're bumping into a Tim Seeley or Johnny Cates or again, whoever's on the bill at that time. I think it's interesting because it takes you out of that normal con environment and puts you directly into something that maybe folks have never experienced before. So it's a blending of worlds, which is awesome. So
well, thank you for saying that. A lot of the artists like it because they do so many of these shows, and you're always, and like I go to Baltimore, I go to the shows. You're in a convention center. It's not near your hotel. It's blocks away. There's nowhere to eat, so you have to go find. But like the Mohegan has that great layout. Like you said, there's restaurants, there's shows, there's comedy clubs, there's gambling if you want to do that. You want to do some gaming. And these guys, it's almost like a mini vacation sometimes because they get to unwind. and they're not afraid because there are so many other people there. You know, you could be Donnie Cates and be at a bar watching a ball game next to Brian Azzarello, and you're not going to get bothered. But maybe if you want to go hang out and, you know, play some blackjack or slot machines or go to the comedy club, the fans are sitting next to you.
Yeah.
It's like being at Disney World with your family.
It's about comics. It's about comics. So, Mitch, typically my family and Roger, we all kind of do the same thing. I was usually going Friday and Saturday and leaving on Sunday. This year I said, you know what? I'm going to stay through Sunday. And I can't tell you, Sunday was such a great day for me at the con, at the show, to wind up and not know that, hey, I don't have to pack up on Sunday.
Yeah.
And leave, you know what I mean? And then, like, it turns out Sunday night, I remember I was walking through the hallway and it was you and Jerry. And I'm sure you guys were decompressing and stuff like that. But it really is part of that. So if you're, in my opinion, for anybody that watches this show, if you're thinking about going Friday and Saturday, please go Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Sunday last year for the first time. I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved
Well,
it.
you know what it is about Sunday? I'm going to tell you behind the scenes. We are so relaxed and not like hungover relaxed. We're just like, it's almost over. And then you start to feel bad because it is almost over. And you spent a year preparing for it. And now it's about to end in about 5 or 6 hours. So every minute, every second that ticks away, you start feeling sadder because you start seeing your friends getting ready to go, and you're not going to see them for another year. It's like summer's that, you know, like you go back to school when you're a kid and summer ends, the summer vacation. And that's what it's like. It's like, oh, I'll see you in September, or maybe see you in New York, you know.
I think one of the other things I love about Terrificon too, and I don't know if you've ever heard this before, Mitch, but like you go to Rhode Island and, you know, there's a lot of cosplay and there's a lot more stars, but I can't buy a book there. Like you can't make a deal with a vendor to buy an actual book. It's all about the theatrics. When I go to Terrificon, I leave there with two
comics
full of comic books
and
deals that I made because people go there and they're actually there to sell books.
Oh, I know. We had guys coming in from California, and we got this one fellow that Greg White comes every year from Florida. He drives up with all his books. But hey, I go shopping for books. I mean, I actually tell my wife, I go, hey, I'm going to be gone for a couple hours. She's like, where are you going? And I disappear, and I literally come back, and I have stacks of books. She's like, the whole idea is not to bring more stuff home. Okay?
Absolutely.
And then I'm in line to get autographs and sketches from my own guests, and they're just like, what are you doing? I go, what do you mean? They go, why? What are you in line for? I go, what? Could you sign my copy of Green Arrow 1? Or like, and they always look at me like, are you paid for me to fly out here, and you paid for my hotel and my food? Just come over here, will you? And I'm like, no, it's okay. There's a guy here. I'll wait my turn like everybody else, you know.
All right. So I do have a question, Mitch, because this is something that I like to do with guests when we first have them on. What can you please tell us? Because you are a collector. I know you're a collector because I hear you.
Oh, I can show you this room I'm in now. You'll get scared.
And I remember one time you talked about how you had a Batmobile and you think your wife threw it away.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Okay, we don't talk about that. Okay, good. See, I know that. So listen, Mitch, tell me, what was the first thing you ever collected as a kid? I mean, was it Star Wars, Star Trek, cars?
Oh, no. When I was a kid, my dad was in the Marine Corps, and he had comics back in the 40s, like when they first started coming out. And because my grandfather had worked at a pharmacy, and he would take them off the spinner rack, you know, and he would bring them home to my dad. And my mom and dad, they lived down the street from each other, so they would all trade comic books back in the day, you know. And my dad always had the best comics. So what happened is, of course, he goes off to the Marine Corps, and he left his books at home. So when he comes back home, they're all gone. And my grandmother, God rest her soul, she said, you know, I got rid of your funny books because the cat, and I never understood this, the cat had kittens on top of the box that they're in. And I'm like, ew? But I was like, then thinking as a grown up, maybe the Afterbirth was only in the first couple books. You know? But for whatever reason, they threw them out. And my dad, he got me my first comics. I remember to this day, it's like it was yesterday. I'm in the front seat when you could be in the front seat with no seatbelt.
Yeah.
I was jumping around the middle dashboards, just waiting to smash my head. And he goes in to get a pack of smokes because he left me in the car alone. Because again, that was legal back then.
Yeah, of course. You got everybody walking around, and you're stuck in the car.
Yeah, and I'm watching him, and he's inside the Liggett's drugstore. That was like a chain, like back like CVS and Walgreens. And I see him. I'm watching him. And there's a spinner rack by the checkout, and I see him spinning around. I see him pull two books up, and he comes back in the car, and he says, "Here, take these home and read them. You really like them. but don't let anybody throw them away on you. So my OCD inadvertently started with my dad.
Okay.
It was Batman 427, which had a book called Manhunter by Walt Simonson in the back.
Okay.
And I remember, and that'll come up in a weird way. And then the other was The Shadow. So, you know, I'd been watching Spider-Man cartoons and all that stuff, but I was like, oh my God, what is this thing? So I go home. I still have the books.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, they're all torn and tattered.
Yeah.
I started collecting them, you know, and
Right.
I had a suitcase. And it was a big blue suitcase my dad used in the service, and it had like stickers on the outside of the suitcase where he was stationed and stuff, Camp Lejeune, Paris Island. And I would carry the stupid suitcase around with me with comic books in it. And I'd go over to my cousin's house and we'd sit on the porch because we had no air conditioning. And we'd just sit there in the summertime and I'd pop open the suitcase. And there'd be Richie Rich and Hot Stuff and Spidey-Man, all that. And we just trade books and we would read them, and I'd pack up my bag and I'd take it home again, you know, and I'd organize my books. And that's where it all started. And then I started drawing because I wanted to be an artist. I was like, this is the greatest job ever. You could do this. Adults do this and get and I could draw Spider-Man. So I would draw all the characters. And my mom wrote a letter to Stan Lee, and I must have been about 5.
Yeah,
5 or 6, and I got this letter back from Stan Lee, and it said, "Hey, true believer, you know, keep up the good work. Your mom says you really like the Fantastic Four, and hopefully we'll see you here one day in the mighty halls of the House of Ideas." And I'm like, oh. And I stuck that on the wall next to my autograph picture of Johnny Carson because I was also nuts about comedians.
Yeah.
I would just stare at that every day. Go, I'm going to work for Stan Lee someday. That's the guy, you know. I got my job.
Right.
5 years old. I know what I'm going to do for a living. And even when I was in school, I wouldn't really worry about, you know, the hard classes like math and all the real stuff because I go, I already know what I got. I'm going to
draw Spider-Man. I'm going to draw the X-Men.
Yeah. And my dad, I remember he finally talked to me. It was a little late in high school. He was like, "Hey, buddy, you got to start learning some other stuff." Like, what are you talking about, Dad?
Oh my God.
Well, if your hand ever gets hurt, you got to have something to fall back on. So you got to go learn some other stuff, like accounting or something. I'm like,
do numbers. So
yeah, I was like, Dad, the only numbers I know are like FF1, Amazing Fantasy,
ASM1, X-Men 1. You know, Mitch, we were talking about this, and when I go to the shows, I kind of like, you know, I watch everybody. I kind of watch stuff, and my question to you is, can you talk about maybe the biggest, I don't want to say, not pain in the ass, that's not where I'm going with this, but like prima donna, like somebody you were like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's so high maintenance. And I think I know who it is. And he was
is he big and green?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, how'd you know
that guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you won't name names. You could just you got it.
So when I
don't know how I knew that. I still get PTSD that I'm going to get text messages from him every 20 minutes.
Right, or like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? He was in the
yes, that's
texting
true.
you. Yeah. So and Mitch made a great point. Mitch said sometimes your heroes they're not always what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's what I take away. It's not him who was just like, you know, $150 for 4 things. It was more of the persona of the person that he played and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of justified it in my crazy head.
Well, and here's the deal, man. I had to go with Lou. Maybe his name's Lou. Around Connecticut the day of the show. We had to do Channel 8. We had to do Channel 61. So I'm in a limousine with Lou Ferrigno driving all over the state on Friday morning before the show opens up, doing all the publicity with them, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's like, because he doesn't know all about the show because he does these every week. So I had to go along. So when they would ask questions like, well, how big's Terrificon and who's going to be there? I'm like yelling answers out to a guy who's 95% can't hear. So it's kind of hard for me to scream answers out to him.
Oh my God.
So I'm writing stuff down and like, you know, showing him with the, you know, Lou, who's going to be there? And he looks at me. I'm like, what? Sam Jones.
Jeez, Sam Jones. Yes.
Yeah. So
is Sam Jones easy to work with? Like,
well, listen, the 2 of those guys.
Yes, I know that. I saw these guys talking.
Oh my God, they're best friends. They're old buddies. They hung out. They're both 6 foot 10,000. I don't know what it is. They're gigantic people, and they're huge. And they just have like this big college football player personality, like, hey, girls, come on, let's go hang out at the bar for a while, you know? So the security guards at Mohegan, they all know me. They would laugh, and I'd be walking by after the show. They go, oh, you just missed Hurricane Lou and Sam. I go, what happened now? Oh, they were just over there, and, you know, they did this, and they all had a good time. But Sunday morning comes by, and there's about 30 women out front, and they're all waiting to come in. And I go, what's going on? And they go, we're part of some bridal party. I said, so what do you want me to do about that? And they go, well, Sam told us we could come in here. I go, Sam, who? Go, the guy from Ted. And I'm like,
no way! Flash Gordon, the guy from Ted.
Yeah, that's how my son knows him. He's like, Dad, why is the guy from Ted here? I go, that's Flash Gordon. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
So I have to go call Sam up. I go, Sam, what did you do? Did you invite like a bridal party? Oh yeah, they're really nice. Yeah,
they're nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a problem? I go, well, each ticket's about $30, and there's about 30 of them. So you owe me about $900. He goes, oh, just let them in, Mitch. I'll take care of it. But they came in, and it was fine. But
yeah. Well,
it was stuff like that, you know.
Right. It was funny because we do a couple live shows that weekend from the floor. Like, so if I'm staying on the 32nd floor, like we set up. And when we started doing this 3 years ago, and Roger will agree with me, when I was grabbing all my stuff, my wife goes, do you think they're going to let you do this? And I'm like, well, I go, there's more cameras in there than Fort Knox. So the minute the minute I set up my computer with my microphone and lights, they're going to shut me down before I even hit play. No. And they still haven't. And Mitch, I just want to show you this picture. This was a great thing. This is when Tom King came up to the floor.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And sat with us. And
that's awesome.
Oh, and it was.
Yeah, we were in the middle of doing a show, and he got off the elevator, and every time someone got off,
that's on one of the floors with the hotel room.
Exactly. And every time someone got off, everyone would be like, "Hey, how'd you like the show, pal?" And he says that to Tom King. He looks up, and Justin and Very Gary, well, that's Tom King. And
wait a minute, that is hey, I know Very Gary. I was watching.
Yeah, and he says, "Hey, you want to sit down and talk?" And I'll tell you what, we sat 15 minutes?
No, even more, 20 minutes.
He said Clay Mann was in the lobby waiting for him to go to dinner. He's sitting there having a show with us.
Yeah. No, Tom's great. Tom's coming back this year. This August, let's get this all behind us and get the show going again. So Tom's coming. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So that was one of the fun things. Justin, I've been babbling with Roger. You got any questions for Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan. You know, I grew up, I'm a big DC guy. So I know you have a lot of the DC animated voiceover cast coming. Yeah. How hard was that to get all of them to really show up for this show?
Actually, you know what? It wasn't that hard at all because the first year we did the show at Mohegan Sun, Kevin Conroy was the guest, and Kevin grew up in Westport, Connecticut.
Okay.
And you know, and he went to the same school as one of my friends did in high school. So I went up to him and said, "Hey, Kevin, Staples High School says hello." And he's like, "Oh my God, you went to Staples High School?" I said, "No, my friend Dan did." So we started talking, and he's like, "Oh, Connecticut? I didn't know there was a show in Connecticut." I'm like, "Yeah, at the Mohegan." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'll come by." So
really?
He had such a great time that when I said I want to bring him back, he was actually supposed to come when we did the tribute to Adam West.
Oh my God!
He was supposed to be one of the guests that night and show up and talk about working with Adam West on the Batman animated show, but he was already contracted to be in New York, and they had an exclusive nonsense where he couldn't do a show within like 200 miles or 300 miles. So even for a memorial tribute, so he couldn't show up because of the contract. And he said, "Well, I'll come back when you want." And then I said, "Well, I want to do a Batman reunion." And then I realized, why don't we do a Justice League reunion? Because we had Phil Lamar there last year, and Phil was the Green Lantern.
Yep.
Right.
And I had been trying to get Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor, but he was also the Flash. So I just started putting like, wait a minute, I already got 3 out of 7. Wait, we can get Superman. That's 4. We can get Wonder Woman.
That's unbelievable.
Oh
I mean,
we've got a reunion, and they all like each other because they haven't seen each other in a while. So they're like, "Oh, I'll go." And when you say it's at Mohegan, like I said, it's like a little vacation. So they're more than happy to come over here. And yeah, it was great. And then once I started getting them, I started calling the Batman animated people up. And I started getting the John Glover, who was also Lionel Luthor, but he was also the Riddler.
Yeah.
And
you have Diane's coming, Diane Pressling, right?
Yeah, she was Poison Ivy. And then Lauren.
Flash.
Yeah, Lauren, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. He was Nightwing and Robin.
Yeah, Nightwing. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's coming too. And then, because I'm a Marvel guy, I wanted to get the X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I because of what's going on right now, I've held up announcing guests because I thought it'd be I just honestly thought it'd be a little rude right now.
No, and I saw that, and I do want to say thank you very much for putting on those online comment codes that you've been posting on your Facebook.
Oh, tonight was crazy, but no, with everything happening right now, and New York is right down the road from me, and it's not pretty. I didn't think it was kind of cool to be talking about, hey, look at all the fun we're having, and yeah, somebody's coming.
Right.
That'll happen. We'll get to that, and we'll have a great time in August. But for here and now, let's try to keep people's minds off of, the bad stuff that's happening, and give out some free comic books and keep people home. Stay inside, stay safe, don't spread the virus, that type of thing.
But
I can tell you who I got
but hold on, though. I just want to bring this up. This is the first time for me. Bob Layton. I've never met Bob Layton.
Oh, Bob. He was at the Bridgeport show when we were in Bridgeport. And Bob worked at Charlton Comics. He lived over here for a long time, too. In fact, he's got a bunch of funny stories about growing up or working in Connecticut.
Nice. All right. Yeah, do you have anybody that you want to announce tonight, or is that something that
I have been dying to announce people. I mean, you talk about just handcuffing me. I just can't do it. I'll tell you right now. I'll do a rundown. Tom King. We got Mitch Gerads. We got Doc Shaner, and the reason why I say those guys is they're all working on that new Strange Adventures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strange book.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're all coming, and then we have Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson.
Fantastic! I love those guys.
They were here in 2015. They were at the first Terrificon in Mohegan, and they're coming back. And Louise, who else we got? We got Ryan Otley. We got God, I have a whole list of these people coming here. Celebrity-wise, you want to know who Celebrity-wise is coming?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
All right. Michael Rooker.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yondu, Walking Dead, all that stuff. Sean Gunn's coming back. This will be his third time because he loves the show and he loves
Sean Gunn is very underrated. I can't wait to meet Sean Gunn. I've passed him 1 year.
He runs our poker tournament. We do.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He is unbelievable. Did we lose Mitch?
I don't know.
All right, there we go.
There he is.
Okay.
There you go.
We all switched around a little bit.
We got Sean Gunn.
And I said the guy from Highlander, Adrian Paul, the TV show Highlander.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
You're the only one.
Yeah, well, there's that. And a voiceover. I wasn't done with the voiceovers before we had to put everything on pause for a couple weeks. Cal Dodd, who was Wolverine on the X-Men 90s cartoon show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
And then we have the young lady, I can't think of her name right now. She played Rogue.
Yes. Oh, I love her accent.
We have Firestar from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I brought her in.
That's awesome.
And then Nicholas Hammond. Now, none of you guys are as old as me, but Nicholas Hammond, who was Spider-Man in the 70s, he was on the CBS show.
The live action with the rope that came out of his wrist.
Yeah, the rope. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that, Mitch. I'm the eldest of the group, so yeah.
All right. Because I had Captain America here last year. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I had Lou Ferrigno, so I'm slowly assembling the 70s Avengers.
That's cool.
And let's see who else is coming comic book wise and stuff. Well, Neil Adams always comes back. He'll be here.
Yeah.
Dan Jurgens is coming back. Brett Breeding's coming back.
I saw Klaus Janson, right? I haven't.
Klaus Janson's there. Yeah.
Clayton Crane coming back?
Is Clayton?
I think so. I think I talked to his guy. I think he's here because he was a fantastic guest last year. I had no idea how popular he was.
Yeah,
his lines never stopped. And who else is coming back? Tom King's coming back. Well,
How about?
Go ahead.
How about for the voice actors? Are you getting any more of the Batman animated or JLA?
I'm trying to get Richard Mall, who was Bull on Night Court, but he was also Harvey Dent, Two-Face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get Adrienne Barbeau, who was also Catwoman.
Wow.
Oh my God. I remember Swamp Thing. I remember her from Swamp Thing. Good God.
Swamp Thing.
So, Dave, our buddy Dave in the Cave, he's very good on current artists and stuff like that. Dave, any current artists that you want to see? Like, do you have any questions about them?
I mean, the last time, I mean, I didn't have the chance to go last year, unfortunately, but the year before, I mean, you had a little bit of everything. I mean, whether it was DC, Marvel, indie, I think that was, you know, again, just to kind of pile on how awesome it was.
Yeah.
No, I guess, you know, I mean, I really don't have any questions just with everything going on. So
I'm trying to think. Phil Hester's coming. You know, Phil Hester did that Green Arrow series with Kevin Smith.
Yep.
Geez, what other celebrities are coming?
I mean, I'd really like to see Tara Strong or
I tried getting Tara Strong. She's not available that weekend. And everybody, when they saw me doing the Batman, they're like, "Are you getting Mark Hamill?" I'm like, "Oh, I wish I can get Mark
Hamill." Mark Hamill. Oh my God. You know, it was funny because I remember when Kevin Smith was there and Kevin and Jason Mewes. I never saw a guy make more money in my life than Jason Mewes did when he sat there and he had hundreds of people and he goes, $20, snap, snap. $20, snap, snap. And he made $20 in 20. Like, I couldn't believe how much money this guy made. Well, you know, in selfies on cameras, Mitch. It was just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. You know what the funnier thing is? Like, there's usually shows going on at the Mohegan, aside from us. Believe it or not, there's actually
Santana's going on.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. One year, the first year we had what's his name? Alice Cooper.
Oh my God!
Wow.
He was performing Sunday night, and he likes comic books. Obviously, he had a comic book based on him.
Yeah,
and a couple times I think. And he showed up. He just walked through the show. And what's the big guy's name that was married to Pamela Anderson? Tommy Lee?
Tommy Lee, yeah.
He was there in a mask. And because I didn't know who he was, and my security cop friend said, "Hey, you know who that is?" I go, "Who?" He goes, "Tommy Lee." I go, "Who?" He goes, "You know, Pamela Anderson's husband." I go, "No."
Oh my God, Motley Crue, my hero.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Because Motley Crue was playing on Sunday night. So what happens? He's a big comic book nerd. So he was walking the show.
Oh my God.
Didn't even know. And Brian Posehn was, you know, the guy that was on.
He's a comedian. Yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
And, but he also wrote Deadpool for a while, the comic book. And he was performing at the comedy club there, Comics. And he's walking around the show. And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "Oh, I collect Legos."
Yeah. I have a funny story. So I'm a huge the movie The Bronx Tale is a big movie in our house, right?
Oh, Chaz Palminteri. Yeah.
When you had Chaz Palminteri, you had my wife hook, line, and sinker, going in.
She melted like butter.
My wife couldn't even in front of Chaz because he was such a larger-than-life person.
Oh, he's huge. He's a big dude.
My wife says to her, "Why are you here?" And he goes, "Well, blah, blah, blah." But he goes, "I can't believe all these people like all these funny books."
Yeah, I know. He was there. He was there. He called me up. It was the weirdest conversation I'll ever have. The phone rings. "Hey, is this the guy?" I'm like, "Well, for what exactly?" I'm like, who are you? What's going on? He goes, "This is Chaz Palminteri." I go, "From Bronx Tale?" He's like, yeah, Bronx Tale. "Hey, I'm coming up to that show of yours at the Mohegan. Is that all right?" I go, "What do you mean? You want like a ticket to come in?" He goes, No. I want to do some autographs. I'm like, "Yeah, okay. What do you want from me?" "Nothing. Just a hotel. We're all right. We're good." "Yeah, okay." So he just showed up, and he's got the bowling shirt on. You know, like it
was unbelievable. And he had
sunglasses on.
He had his handler with him, his buddy. It was.
Oh yeah. So the best thing, he comes walking up to me. And he didn't want to be out in the front where I had the celebrities. I had Finn Jones, Iron Fist. I had
he was inside,
I had Burt Ward. I had all those people there. Lee Merriweather, you know. And he wanted to be inside. He didn't want to because the lights were too bright. He said out there, so we kept him around the corner, you know. Yeah. And he comes walking in, and Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo were there.
Oh yeah, that year. Yep.
Yeah, and Batman Metal had just come out. And the line was crazy. I mean, they had 300 or 400 folks waiting for their autographs, you know? So Chaz comes walking out, and he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, what's that over there? The Beatles?" I go, "No, it's Capullo and Snyder." Who that? You don't swear on your show, right?
Right. No, family show, but that's okay.
Oh, no, okay, whatever. Who the blank are those guys?
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, they write Batman." "What? Batman?" "Yeah." He goes, "All those people for funny books?" "Yeah." And he goes, freaking believable. And he puts his sunglasses on and he walks back inside and just sits at his table. But
so Mitch,
that's awesome.
When we were staying there, like I said, my wife was a huge fan, and we were actually doing a live show. We were getting all set up, and on our floor, Chaz was actually staying there with his buddy, and he comes off, and my wife has one chance to get the line right. She looks at him and she says, "Now you's gots to leave."
Yeah.
And he looks at her and goes, "No. Now you's can't leave." My wife,
that's right.
She screwed it all up, and that was it. But when Chaz, and I'm sorry, you guys, this is not comic book related, but just to have such a celebrity come off and staying on the same floor as you guys, this whole part of the experience. But that's unbelievable. You know what? I can't wait till my wife hears that.
You don't get that at other cons. You really don't.
No. It's like you just don't know who's going to pop in. When we had Henry Winkler there 2 years ago.
The Fonz.
I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah. He's another one that called up, and you don't know who they talk to because I'm always like, really, Fonzie's on the phone? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I know who he is because he's Fonzie, but I'm like, are my kids gonna know who he is? I don't know if that's gonna
like I don't know if Dave would know who the Fonz is.
Oh, I know who the Fonz is.
Oh no, but he shows up and he had one of the biggest guests we ever had because my kids knew him from Arrested Development.
Yeah,
show. And then Barry, he was on that show.
Oh yeah, he was on Barry.
He's just on so many different programs, you know. But
I remember walking through the hall, getting like donuts at Krispy Kreme, and I'm like, "Look, Arthur Fonzarelli," and he's like, "Yeah, thank you very much." And I'm like, "I just saw the Fonz in the middle of 10 a.m. getting donuts." You know?
First, I think it was our first year, or maybe even last year. I was in the elevator with Chris Claremont, and I was like, he's just standing right next to me, and I'm just like, I could talk X-Men with you all day.
Is Chris coming back? Chris?
No, I try to alternate the guys like every other year.
Okay.
Just to rotate them out because you just don't want to be stale. Not that they're not great guests. It's just that you want to keep bringing new names in and like, oh, yeah, you know. And Tom King had such a great time last year. He's like, oh, I'll come back next year. I was like, well, I kind of, but I'm like, okay.
Because of us.
Yeah, right. How about Duranko himself? Is he coming back?
Duranko's coming back.
What is he like? Is he everything that you think he is? Like,
oh yeah. The man only did 29 comic books. Let's put this out in the record. We all know that. That's it. 29. He had like a perfect game. That's it. He pitched a perfect game and he
dropped the mic. He went out on top.
Yeah, he went out on top. Yeah. But he's a pip, man. We had a dinner thing with him. That was supposed to go 8 to 12. It went to 8 to 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my God!
And the only reason why it stopped at 2:30 is because I couldn't take it anymore. I said,
Duranko could talk that long.
The guy's like a vampire, man. He's up all night. You know?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
What about so when are we going to see the Todd father?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, Todd. Actually, you know what? He was in talks this year. I talked to his people. I was trying to get him out here, so maybe next year though.
That'd be awesome. How about like a Tyler Kirkham, one of these guys?
Tyler's on the list with Ryan Otley. Actually, the same agent has them. So I think he's. I know Ryan's definitely coming. I think Tyler's supposed to come, but we'll see what happens. What's going on now? So.
We do have a question.
A lot of these guys, a lot of the shows that they're supposed to do, obviously are canceled right now.
Right.
So a lot of schedules are being thrown around, and people that weren't available are going to be available now. So, you know, it is what it is.
We do have a question, Mitch. Is Rubenstein coming back?
Yeah, Joe's on the list. Yep.
Nice.
All right.
I know both Mitch, both me and Dave, we're pretty big fans of Mark Brooks. I see you got him this year.
Mark Brooks is coming. Yeah, Brooks.
He's lights out.
Yeah, but he does all those variant covers too.
Oh, he's amazing. His stuff is just gorgeous to look at when he does it.
There you go.
Geez, I'm trying to think of who else is on the list. I haven't updated the website in a couple weeks now, but
well, you have CGC there. Will they be on there for grading?
CGC. Oh yeah, we're one of the bigger CGC conventions of the year.
Okay.
Their line goes around the block with people getting signatures and slabbed and all that stuff.
Everything.
Last year, CGC had a deal with Clayton Crane and.
Oh, you're right. They did.
And you could just hand off your books to CGC and they would get them autographed. Are we going to see something like that again this year?
Yeah, actually, the guy that brought Clayton Crane, he's got a deal with, I'm going to say maybe Ryan or Tyler, because a lot of folks they just don't want to. They want to see the whole show. They want to go to the panels. They
Yeah,
want
right.
to go see the actors. And as much as they want to stand in line and get an autograph, they'd rather just drop it off and come back and pick it up like a commission. So yeah, I think they're going to do something like that on Sunday. I don't know the times exactly. But
I'll tell you, it was genius. I had some great books signed by Crane, and I dropped them off, and I was able to enjoy your show like I've never enjoyed it before.
Did he sign the books in different color inks? Because I saw.
I didn't know it was an option. You have to actually pay a little more for that and tell them that you want it.
Yeah.
If I'd have known it was an option, I definitely would have done it. But either way,
I saw it on a lot of books coming out, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. What's going on here? They go,
definitely the most beautiful autographs.
Yeah, he'll change the markers for you. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I got to tell you, you know who I met, and it was unbelievable. When I met Jim Starlin, I couldn't believe how nice of a guy he was.
Starlin's coming back.
Good, fantastic. I enjoy talking to him.
He wasn't on the schedule. He wasn't on the schedule because he'd been here 2 years in a row, and he likes to break it up as well.
Right.
But I talked to his guy like 2 weeks ago, and he said, hey, I've been to Jim's house a couple times upstate New York.
Right.
And he's like, oh, just tell Mitch, I'll come drive down and I'll be there. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So it's
no.
So we got a couple of people that are asking for some artists. Is Jason Fayback coming back? I know he was there 2 years ago.
I don't have him on the list for this year, but I could. We'll see.
Okay. How about Brian Azzarello?
No.
All right. And we're actually getting a celebrity. Any Star Trek actors or actors?
Oh, yeah. Well, the new Star Trek, Doug Jones, who's in Hellboy, and he's on Star Trek. Yeah, he's
a good actor. I like him.
Oh, he was in that Academy Award movie that came out this
Shape of Water. Yep.
Yeah, he was the fishman or whatever.
I have a Star Trek question because I know Mitch is a Star Trek fan. Mitch, how much would it cost? And I don't expect him to be there to get Shatner, to get Captain Kirk to do an appearance, not an appearance, like for one day. What would Shatner charge?
I can't really tell you the exact numbers because it's confidential, but you could buy a decent car.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, a decent key, not a car.
Well, we'll see. You're not going to buy a Hyundai or anything, but you're talking maybe what's like a Tesla. It's a good
an
AF-15.
Wow. Yeah, get an AF-15 kind of stuff.
Yeah. We'll talk comic book numbers. Yeah.
Grade Batman 1.
Yeah, see, I'm glad you guys understand that because a lot of folks don't know how the sausage is made and the hot dogs, and you don't want to get into it because I get people sending me letters like, can you get Harrison Ford? Can you get Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
I would love to do that, but I like my leg and my arm where they are.
Yeah.
Right. And you've got to make something once you're done with this, you've got to kind of get through it. So,
well, no, it's not that. It's just a lot of these guys have huge appearance fees.
Okay.
And stuff. So if you bring them in, God bless you, you better have 200,000 people there because you're going to need to.
That's how you recoup it.
To recoup it, right? Yeah, right. I mean. Terrificon's fun because we don't have thousands of crowds shoving you and pushing you like New York or one of those big shows. But again, here's a little behind the scenes story. Mohegan's son and I were working trying to get Keanu Reeves 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh my God.
Oh.
No one knew about that because I don't announce it if it doesn't happen.
Right.
So what happened is he had to go to Italy to go film a little movie called, I think, John Wick 3 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Right? Little one.
That's it. But it came this close because we had negotiating with this guy. I think he was in New York. He was going to come in, and it was only going to be one day, but it just went out the window. So,
wow.
I think that's part of the beauty of Terrificon, though. A lot of the celebrities you get is more nostalgic to people like us.
Right.
Like I'm excited to see the voiceovers of some of those cartoons. Or
I was taken back honestly how popular the voiceovers and no difference to them, but I'm like people really love seeing the voiceover folks.
Oh yeah. No,
I mean I know Kevin Conroy because he's Batman. I know he's popular.
Yeah, but Flash and Green Lantern.
Sure, and I'd rather see 10 nostalgic people than one Shatner.
Right.
Yeah. But like Larry Kenny, who's a friend of mine, he lives over here in Connecticut. He's Thundercats guy, Lino.
Yeah.
He drives in every year. He does the voiceover. If you ever hear any of my commercials on the radio or at the movies, Larry does it, for free because he's so great a guy. Yep. And this is a guy who's been doing voiceovers like Captain Count Chocula and the Cuckoo the Bird from Cocoa Puffs and the Skittles guy. He's all these voiceovers. Yeah,
That's crazy.
And he just does it. He's like, oh, I love this show. He comes in, him and his wife, they drive in. They're there for a day or two. They meet all the Thundercats people.
Well, I got a great book for him to sign.
I know. We like to put the Thundercats.
Mitch, can you get Peter Cullen or Brad Welker, please?
Yeah,
Please get Frank Welker or Peter
my
Cullen.
You know what? I tell people all the time, just send me the list. I'm like Santa Claus. I said I got white hair and I'm fat, so.
Oh my God! I'll be there all 3 days. I'll be in that line for Peter Cullen all day.
No, because a lot of these folks, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little older than you guys. I'm 53, so come 80s, I was already, rock and roll, chasing girls. So I missed a lot of the Transformers, G.I. Joe cartoons. I didn't see any.
Larry Hama, though, he's a fan.
Larry Hama, yeah. Well, because I know Larry from comic books.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
If you ever want to have a round table discussion with us, we can help you out with that.
Yeah.
Oh no, seriously, I do this. I go to my comic shop up here in Newtown, Connecticut, Cave Comics every
Cave
day.
Comics, right? Absolutely. Yep.
But I'm there I'm there for an hour and a half. It's like a bar. I just go in and hey, who do you want to see? Who do you like? What book's selling this week? That's my market research.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the way you have to be. That's
for
and
sure.
Then I go to conventions and I walk around and I just talk to people and they go, "Hey, Terrificon." I go, "Yeah."
But Mitch, you go to the small show. You go to the Plainville shows, and Justin.
I'm there I'm Cliff's show. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, Cliff's show, and we're there all the time, and that's where you really get a pulse. And I know Justin, you'll agree with me. Dave, you'll agree with me because the smaller shows, you guys go once a month like us, and Mitch is in there too. So right, Dave? Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that show. That's because it's all comic books.
Yeah.
So
we have those here in Jersey, Mitch. There's a guy who puts on 3 shows a month in 3 different areas. And,
really?
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, Dave will tell you it's every Sunday. The 3 Sundays a month. There's 3 different shows. It's just vendors. The first one is at a community center. One's in a hotel, and 2 of them are in hotels.
When this craziness is over, let me know because I drive down to Jersey a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll definitely put you in.
Yeah, I'll definitely go because my friend Scott Martin, he lives in Pennsylvania. He's always working the show. He'll come up. And we go like on a comic book hunt. We just like go out. My friend Chris Scott and Jerry Ordway will hook up with Jerry later, and we just all go look for books all day, and then we all meet. What'd you get? Like little.
Oh,
kids.
these are great shows.
Yeah.
How is Jerry? Is Jerry going to be a Terrificon this year?
Oh, Jerry! I can't get rid of him. He's actually texting me while you guys.
Did he do this shirt? Did he do my shirt, Mitch?
He does the shirts every year. He's the artist on.
Good. See, I got a Jerry Ordway shirt.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, he created the Captain Terrificon character in 2015, and every year he does the artwork for the poster, which if he's listening now, he still owes me this year's poster right now. So.
Nice.
I think he's in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But no, Jerry and I go out for pizza. Well, when the world was normal again, we'd go out every Tuesday, and we go to Colony Grill in Fairfield, and we just have our pizzas, and then we put the phone on the microphone, and we BS for an hour about whatever's watching and comic books, and that's the Power Cosmic right there.
That's the Power Cosmic, yeah. Now, Mitch, have you watched Bloodshot yet? Have you had a chance to see that?
I was going to because I saw it's on video on demand, so maybe tomorrow or something. Last night I started watching Tiger King.
Yes, that's. I was just talking about it.
Oh God,
started it.
That is nuts, man. The guy with that owns the Tigers in Florida and stuff. He's a
yes. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I told my wife,
the wildest show I've ever watched.
Right?
If you've watched that already, or
my wife got sucked into it, and I just tagged along.
I can't believe it's real. I'm like, no, this is
exactly.
This is a sketch, right?
No, it's unbelievable. So yeah, we were going to talk about that. That's unbelievable that's happening too. So those are great things about Terrificon. Is there anybody in the chat that has a question for Mitch maybe that we can talk about? If not,
I mean, of course, if you said before, Barry Gary, he asked where his booth is this year.
All right. Well, it's the best spot in the place. Tell Gary.
Perfect.
Yeah, right next to the big Thanos, right?
I just watch Gary's videos because I'm home now, stuck here. Watching YouTube, I watched like 10 of Gary's videos where he had the best Spider-Man Silver Age, the best Bronze, and the best collection he ever got. I mean, I'm sharing it with all my buddies. Like, look at this guy. He found this guy. Why don't we get collections like this? Well, we're not Barry Gary, man.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Mitch, speaking of the giant Thanos, Justin, do we have a picture of that? Where is the giant Thanos right now? Is that in your garage?
Giant Thanos is in a. No, I wish it was in my house. My wife would kill me. It's in a warehouse in New Britain, Connecticut right now, waiting to come back.
Okay.
Though Jim Starlin wanted to buy it off of me and put it in front of his house.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just nuts. We tried to build the Batwing last year. We were going to hang it from the ceiling, and they just didn't want. They wouldn't let me to hang it from the ceiling. That was a no-no. So
speaking of that, when okay, so I know Adam West was one of my heroes. He was like one of my, him, Christopher Reeves, Adam West. When Adam West passed away before your show, were you like, what is going to happen now? Like, this is my star is gone. Like, you turned it into a great tribute, Mitch, and that's what I want to say. But, were you in that moment of panic, or were you like, okay, I've got
what happened was I met Adam in March. I met him previously, over the years. I'd met him at shows, and I met him here in Norwalk, Connecticut. We had some run-ins and stuff. So I booked him for my show in December or so, January. And there's a guy in Massachusetts named Gary Summers who does a convention. And Gary had Adam coming there with Burt Ward. So I drove up there and talked to Adam, and Adam filmed a bunch of commercials for Terrificon. And we filmed them, and he was funny as all hell. And he kept screwing up the lines. And he was like, do you want me to do it with my pants on? I mean, he was nuts. And I'm like, yeah, please keep your pants on. And then he starts undoing his belt buckle. I'm like, oh, Adam, please, And Burt Ward, he was just crazy. He was a crazy guy. And what happened is, it's June 10th.
Yeah.
And what's the car show? Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson. June 8th was my birthday.
I just drove up to Mohegan Sun with about 40,000 postcards to put out because the Barrett Jackson show was going to bring in like 80,000 people. And I put them all over the place. And I got my car and I'm driving home. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And my friend John calls me up. He goes, hey, where are you? I said, I just left Mohegan. He goes, why? I go, I just dropped all the flyers and posters off with Adam West. He goes, you better go back and get him.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
He goes, he just passed away. I go, no, he did not. And I literally pulled the car over on I-95 and started looking on my phone because I thought he was fooling with me. And I'm like, oh, my God. So I called his wife a couple of days later, and she's like, oh, Adam, I guess he was part Native American. I don't know what the deal was. And he was looking forward to going to Mohegan because he was asking all questions about, the Mohegan tribe and some of the culture things. And he was looking forward to seeing the casino. And, it is what it is. And he died. And I'm like, what do I do? I had all these flyers and posters. And this was going to be his final appearance because he said to me, I think it was 88 going on 89. And he said, look, I've been doing this for 50 something years now. I've earned my rest. I don't want to do this because he didn't know he was sick.
Right.
What happened was he left Massachusetts at that convention and was flying home to Idaho.
Yeah.
And he got ear sick. He started vomiting. And when he landed, he'd never been ear sick in his life. So his wife said, well, maybe you should go to the doctors. Maybe you got a flu or something. So Adam goes to the doctor and they said, well, Mr. West, you unfortunately have leukemia.
Whoa.
And they said, but your prognosis is 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is, considering the situation, but his advanced age at 88, that's a lot of time, 3 to 5 years. So I found out, and they're like, it is what it is. So what happened is his wife told me is he caught a cold on like a Sunday. And because he was on the chemo drugs for the leukemia and the cancer stuff, his immune system was weakened.
Yeah.
So by Friday, it was full-blown pneumonia.
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
passed away that night. So he had gone from a cold to pneumonia in a couple of days. And he had plans for that summer. He was going to go to Europe with Burt Ward for July.
Oh, he was.
He did not expect.
I did go to Gary's show, and that's where I did meet. I did meet him. And I think I met him at a separate show too. And I had 5 minutes of a conversation with him, and he was just such a nice guy. And then when I got callings, like I got text messages from it was like only borderline with Stan Lee and like a family.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my God, are you okay? Batman passed away.
And I was looking forward to that because it sounds trivial now
tell that story.
Because the guy,
story.
The guy died, but
right.
my wife's uncle is Joey Tata from he owned the Peach Pit in 90210. but he was also was a regular goon on the Batman 66 show.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
So I have a script from the original Batman 66 show that I was going to have Adam West and Burt Ward sign at that Terrificon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it ended up obviously not happening, but it's just, you have, it's kind of like with Stan Lee. It's like, you expect them to always be there.
No, I know. I hear you. And like I said, we had planned to show the Batman 66 movie with him, and he was going to do a Q&A, and it was all planned for that. And obviously he's not going to be there. So I just turned it into a tribute.
That's awesome.
And what can you do? Because he had meant so much to so many people of different ages,
Agreed.
And we got Burt Ward. We got Lee Merriweather to talk about him. We got Peter Griffin, the real Peter Griffin from Jersey.
Oh, I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came on, and because Adam West was the mayor on The Family Guy.
Right.
So we did a bit where he comes on as Peter Griffin, and he's like, "Where's Mr. West? I got to talk to Mayor West," And I go, "Well, I have some really bad news for you." And he's like, "What's that?" I go, "Unfortunately, Mr. West passed away." And we're on stage. We did this whole routine, and he goes, "What?" And then he just stopped. He broke character, and he explains to the crowd that he had gotten hired to play Peter Griffin on some Family Guy like signing, and Adam West was there, and he had worked with them, and he was a great guy. So we did that, and then we had our own Bob DeSimone, who you'll see at the show every year. He's our 66 Batman. He's our resident cosplayer.
Okay.
And he's a singer too. He does Bobby Darin songs. And I called up Bob and I said, "Hey, is there any way you could do some tribute to Adam West?" So what we did is, that song, "Ain't That a Kick in the Head"?
Yeah.
We rewrote it. So we had a big movie screen behind Bob. So we go, "Ain't that a kick in the head?" And every time you'd hear that pow, we would do the effects, and we'd have him punching the Joker and the Riddler and the Penguin from the TV show. And at the end of the thing, we had on the stage, we had a red phone, like the Bat phone.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, folks, thank you for coming out. This is really great. We're going to show the Batman 66 movie. Thank you to Mr. Ward, Miss Merriweather." And then we made the phone light up. And I go, "Oh, wait a second. What's this about?" And I pick up the phone and I go, "Hello?" And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I tell everybody, I go, "Hey, we all grew up knowing that Adam West was a man of his word. And Batman was, the number one citizen, would always do what was right. So we have a special message here." So the lights go out, and there's Adam West on the screen from the video that I filmed for the commercial. And he goes, "Hi, fans." He goes, "This is Adam West, and I will see you this August at Mohegan Sun for Terrificon." And he points to the camera.
That's awesome.
And and then we just faded to black, and then we had the spotlight on the Bat phone, and then we just made it, fade to black and disappear. And dude, the lights came up to put the movie on. You could hear a pin drop because everybody was just crying. It was something else.
That's unbelievable.
Where do we go?
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
No, that's
grown men in their 60s.
Well,
70s.
He's Batman. Like, no matter how many Batman. There's a great scene in The Big Bang Theory where Adam West was in the car with them, and they were having an argument about who the best Batman was with all the movies and stuff.
Really?
And his response was, "I didn't have to tell people I was Batman.
Yeah.
They just knew that I was Batman."
Yeah. No, he was great. I mean, every year, like I said, we've been fortunate looking back at the shows. Even with some of the crazy Lou Ferrigno stuff, he's still the Hulk. He's still the guy.
And that's what I say to myself, Mitch, after I did all this, and I was like, okay, my God, how am I going to justify this? And I realized that, it's not him. I get it, whatever he's trying to do, but it was as the Hulk. It was, the costume.
Some nostalgia.
There was no CGC when he was the Hulk.
Yeah.
No CGI. You mean CGI.
CGI.
Yeah, CGI.
There's no CGC either. So
you're really
go back and forth.
Mitch, we have kept you on for an hour. Thank you very much.
No, hey man, I got nowhere to go right now. So
all right, so listen,
no one's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, nobody does.
Know, right?
If you want to hang out with us, please do. Because we were just going to switch gears. and we're going to talk about some of our recent comic book pickups. And if you've got something you want to show off, we'd love to have you do that.
I hope I didn't bore you guys for the last hour.
No way.
Grandpa sits in the corner and tells stories of glory.
Listen to me. I sit there and listen to you tell these stories all day, my friend.
So please hang out.
I'll come on next time and tell the Harrison Ford story. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna switch.
So, Mitch, before you leave, let's just remind everybody when Terrificon is. And just just kind of where it's at, what can they expect? Because again, for me, I've been going 2 years. I absolutely love it. So to everybody who's watching this live or watching this on the rewind, tell everybody when and where Terrificon is.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con, will be August 14th to the 16th, 2020 at the Mohegan Sun Exposition Center in beautiful Uncasville, Connecticut. Come for 3 days of fun-filled Comic-Con fun at Mohegan Sun, where you'll meet stars, comic creators, and the best lineup of exhibitors known to mankind, plus cosplay and things for the kids, all at Terrificon.
Well, you didn't even take a breath, Mitch. That was good.
Awesome.
Not that I don't do that all day long in my sleep.
Awesome. All right.
Well, thanks, Mitch, for coming on.
Yeah, I really appreciate this.
All right. Yeah, well, whenever you guys want. Well, I got nothing. My wife said, good, you talked to him. I'm sick of hearing him. She hates comic books.
We'll definitely have you on live at the show.
Yeah,
Terrific.
Oh, yeah. Definitely so. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Cool. All right, Justin, will we have a commercial?
Yeah. So we're going to take a 30-second break. And, if anybody's just to catch a breather. But, of course, we're going to show off our 3-minute in the basement commercial. See you guys soon. That's right, guys.
Go get them.
How about that? Who wants one?
Everybody wants one. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. Mitch definitely was great to have on.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you what. It's. I enjoy finding out that stuff as well as everybody, but the stories just make it that much better, man.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
You get that peek behind the curtain, which is it's not something that you see all too often. So
that's for sure.
And just want to give some shout outs to everybody hanging out with us tonight in the live show. Very Gary's with us, Dave Levesque, man from Beantown, Rag 718. Jay Salsa has been hanging out with us. Double A Comics, of course. The Butcher's hanging out with us. Matt Forge Comics. There's so many guys. Geeky Swag Shaft, of course, where you can get yourself an NY Warriors t-shirt. So,
and don't brush over the fact that Dave Levesque of the Green O does the screen printing for Geeky Swag Shop. That's good stuff right there.
Yes, he does. He makes all of both these shirts and the Lords of the Long Box and your shirts as well. So really cool. So, I mean, Dave, why don't you show off some of your, we've been taking this for a good, hour and 20. It was a really good time with having Mitch, but if you guys want to show off, let's just do some recent pickups so we can wrap this show up, unless you guys want to keep going.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I got no race or pickups.
Nothing. All right. Well, Dave, why don't you show us off? Because we're quarantined, but we're still getting mail calls, right?
Yeah. Thank God. That's what's keeping me sane, my Lord. But no, actually, speaking of very Gary, he had his auction not last weekend, maybe the weekend before, but got this in, regularly. Pretty quick, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words, but I just want to show it off again. Ryan Brown did this. This is absolutely out of control. Definitely check him out on Instagram. I think it's Zombie Pets RGB on Instagram. So again, absolutely crazy. Up next, I actually got the 4-book set of the J. Scott Campbell Gwen Stacy #1s. So here you go, and it's the 4 seasons. So there's your spring.
Damn.
My favorite, summer. Justin's favorite, fall. Yep. And winter. So nice. Dope. And then if you didn't have enough Gwen Stacy, you're gonna get some more. So Gwen Stacy number 2. This is crazy. And then I also got the Virgin variant. Also have the Unmasked coming as well. I have no idea when it's coming in. This one. So just to give you a good snapshot into how bored I was this week, I logged on for a Torpedo Comics live sale on Instagram.
Okay,
so
hold on. Torpedo Comics had a live sale on Instagram. Okay.
Yes, and you should definitely check that out.
For real? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I actually picked up a Dynamic Forces.
Was it in or was it buy it now?
Buy it now.
Okay.
So it was a Lock and Key number 1.
Oh.
Wow, Dynamic Forces.
Dynamic Forces actually comes with the certificate of authenticity and the fancy sticker.
Nice.
And, you know, again, I've been talking of Lock and Key like crazy. So price was right. And then I actually got these 2 books on Strictly Comics last auction on last Sunday. I got a Thor 339. So your first Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, yep, love it.
If you have that, then you have to have this, right?
Ooh, good book to have.
Yes,
and affordable right now too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Affordable.
So gonna send these off for a press and a clean, and we'll see what happens. But that's my stack.
Sweet, nice. Sweet. Roger, you want to show off your stuff? Because I gotta actually grab one more book before I.
Let's do this. I'm gonna start off with the books that I bought from Unknown. Unknown is having some great sales.
Yes,
a couple weeks ago, they did a buy 2 get 1 free. Now they're doing a buy 3 get 3 free.
Jesus Christmas!
But the buy 2 get 1 free, I bought 2 of these Unknown variants, Terminator Transformer. So I bought 2 so that I could have both.
2's better than 1.
Well,
right?
I mean, you got to show both sides. It's
right.
it's a wraparound.
That's so sick.
Sick.
So is it am I showing it wrapped the correct way?
Yeah.
You gotta flip them, Raj. The one in your left. There we go.
That's what I meant.
Nailed it. That's sick.
Oh, that's nuts.
I mean,
that's nuts.
Absolutely beautiful. And of course, I bought those 2. So the one that I got for free was the Wolverine cover swipe. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let me see.
Look at that. That's sick.
And I opened up the thing, and there was a little note on there. It said, "Enjoy a free comic from Unknown." And they threw this book in there. I believe that's a Venomized cover.
Stephanie Hans.
See, I thought you guys would ask Mitch about like Stephanie Han or In-Hak Lee or anything like that. Like, but
so much things you could talk about.
Yeah, we could have we would have went with all. But the thing is, I don't know if he would have known them. But at the same time,
I picked this up.
We'll put that on his wish list.
On a live auction on Instagram with Ryan the Comic Guy.
Hey.
Friend of the show, Ryan Comic Guy.
Ryan, friend of the show, yeah. Been talking to him. Made a great deal today. I'm going to karate chop Everett in the face
Get out of here.
when I get that book and open it. and then, oh boy, if I didn't have it before, I got it now. And then I bought this on the same Very Gary auction that Dave was talking about. I got this from his friend. I'm sorry, I don't remember your friend's name.
It was Anthony. Anthony,
yes.
right?
Alternative verse, yeah.
Venom Inc. Alpha 1. It's got all the different symbiotes on.
How was Gary's auction? Good.
Yeah, I mean,
a little crazy. That's a leading question.
There was
Gary.
some stuff going on
an insider joke. That's a total insider joke.
And then some. I bought this one on Instagram from. They had my hip hop collection from Comic Book Quest.
Nice,
a great deal. Like every once in a while. So I wanted to show. I got this stack over here, but in the interest of time, I just want to show some books that I'm reading.
Yes.
So. I mean, everybody knows this book, but I mean, I can't afford it. So I've never read it.
Right.
So I bought this facsimile.
Okay.
I nailed it.
All right. So what I found interesting about it, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is this is the first appearance of the Justice League.
Yeah.
And in this story, Batman and Superman were too busy to help Justice League.
Is that what it was? Yes. I think I knew that.
Superman was busy punching asteroids in outer space, and Batman was chasing around one of his nemesis that he doesn't name.
And nobody wanted to come and help.
And I'm like, so you have Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter and John Johns who have to take care of Starro themselves, and I just thought that was funny. I'm reading, I'm like, oh my god, the first time they appeared, and Batman and Superman disappeared on them.
They eating bonbons.
I read this. You know what? At first, I wasn't sure what I felt about it. Then I read it again, and I really did enjoy it. I realized they were doing flashback, flash forward, live time. So Strange Adventures #1 by longtime friend of the show, Tom King.
Good story. Good story.
Autograph. I have this one happens to be autographed by Tom King. I got it. I also got it from Midtown. If you're not reading this book, you should be. This is The Killock by a longtime friend of the show, Livio Romandelli.
Yep.
And I saw some of his posts, like, you can't buy the book. Like, no matter when it comes out, from 3 to 4.
It's moving.
They're the people in the comic shops are saying we just can't get it. I can't buy enough of them.
Yeah.
So I ordered mine. I haven't gotten 4 yet. It came out Wednesday. I'll probably get it tomorrow in the mail. The story's great. The art is great. It's a great concept. And I just think, like, can you imagine if that was us 4?
No, yeah.
And the premise of The Killock is you're a bad person. You've been sentenced to death. You've all been linked in your brain. If one dies, you all die.
You all die. That means I got to rely on you.
Yeah, I got to rely on you 3 idiots to keep me alive. So,
you're dead. Sorry.
For the last 5 minutes.
Not only do I think it's a genius premise, but I hope that they make this into a movie one day.
Really?
I really do. I think that would be a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
kind of like, you know what I mean?
I spoke to Livio today about doing a commission, so Livio is available for commissions.
He's definitely for me.
So, yeah.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna leave that there. We're getting too many books here.
Lots of books. Dave showed his books. Roger showed his books. Justin,
what you got, Justin?
Yeah. So one of the books is, of course, Variant Horror. So a Star Wars: The Force. Joe Quesada variant. Oh, wait, what happened? This is the only Joe Quesada signature I actually have. It's really cool. So I really like that. Next up is the hottest book on the market right now, a 9.8.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
That's right, boys and girls. First full appearance of
Now, is that what it says up in the CGC? Read us the CGC label.
Yes, it says first full appearance of Punchline. That is what CGC says.
Okay.
First full appearance. Yeah.
Hey now.
And the reason why I had to go last is I had to go run and grab it. But shout out to the Butcher for this one. I found this on Instagram. This is Spider-Gwen #1, the Phantom variant. This is triple signed by Jason Latour. Jason Latour, Robbie Rodriguez, and Jamie McNeil. He is the who did this cover. So really cool. Of course, Roger likes it because it's a 300 cover swipe.
That's right.
It's Spider-Gwen.
I got 3 of those. Is that the full mask?
Yeah, that's the full mask. So I actually have 3 of them and this one now.
Yeah, and the full, the half, and then the unmasked.
Dave likes it because it's Spider-Gwen. Everybody likes it.
Of course. And my last pickup, shout out to one of our brothers over at Lords of the Long Box, Dark Side Jedi, a Batman 27.
Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Merry Christmas.
What is that? That's got to be
1945.
Okay,
oh my God.
43. I was going to say 43.
Is that the first appearance of Santa in the comic book?
It might be.
I mean, does it look that nice, or is that just the Mylar?
No, man, it's pretty clean. Other than there's a tear, but other than that, it's very, very clean.
Are you sending it away? Or are you keeping it?
I definitely may send it to CGC. I was talking to, our sponsor, Rocket Comics. I sent him a picture, and he said, I wouldn't press it just because you never know. And he said it looked pretty clean just to send it in. And I'd be happy with a 2 or a 3 in these Golden Age books. So,
oh my God, so something like that from the 40s, absolutely.
It's a thing 70 plus years old. It's
my God, that survived like that. Forget about it.
Yep. So that's my pickups.
Nice. So I don't really have much. You guys, I went on the my tour kind of ended with the last CGC pickup. So we've been kicking it for almost an hour and a half.
I just drew these books up here because I bought them on the way home from our comic swap.
Nice.
And at that place.
Zap Comics. Zap Comics.
I just thought, people know me, know that I cover. I got to say that I'm definitely over 70 with the 300 cover swipes. These 3 might have put me at 75.
Awesome.
Wow. I can't believe there's that many.
Yeah, really.
And then it just keep coming.
And it's going to keep
there's
going.
A Venom. There's another Venom.
We're going to have a big party when you get
Yeah, that's and there's 2 versions of it.
There's 2 versions, of course.
Yeah.
And he showed it to me, so I went out and bought both of them. Because, and it's the problem is it starts to get to the point where like the one that's coming out with Venom, it's the same color and almost the same art as the one Clayton Crane did that I already have autographed by him, but it's just a little bit different. And there's actually this one in the circle behind Venom is a scene from the city. Where most of them are just kind of color back there. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, Justin.
There you go. You're welcome. Unbelievable. I mean, that's what it's all about, the collecting and stuff like that. So, all right. So we're going to sign off. We've been going for 90 minutes. It's been a great show. We had Mitch Hallock talking all this stuff. You guys got recent polls. It was just a great show, man. Thank you very much for everybody for jumping on for 3 Men in the Basement for this 90 minutes. On behalf of the 3 Men in the Basements, I am Everett Otto. I'm going to sign out after Roger Levesque says thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody. I appreciate everything. Mitch did a great job. And whether you're watching it live or watching a rewind, we appreciate you.
All right. Dave in the Cave, any last words for our crew?
No, just my famous last words. Thanks, everybody.
And last but not least, running the show behind the scenes, Nemesis Prime.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Next live shows are going to be April 10th and April 24th, as you can see scrolling in the bottom. We will definitely be putting out some new content. I know it's been a little slow for the past 2 weeks with quarantine, but we do have some stuff in the works. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. On behalf of the 3 Men in the Basement, on behalf of the Lords of the Long Box, I am Otto, and I am out. Peace.